The Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
You've been sick and tired of losing. Each game brings you misery. Each situation of this just tough for you. You've been away with awful nausea and sunless hysteria that keeps you paranoid and looking up.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm very excited about our next guest. Kind of bummed because I missed her set at Punk in the Park this last weekend to other things going on in life, but I will catch them this coming Sunday at Riotfest, and I'm very excited about that. So let's welcome to the show Darius from Swingin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Listen, I am so happy that as an old school punk rocker, that punk rock is still alive and well, and probably even more so than back in the 80s.
Yeah, maybe actually.
You know,
back in the 80s. Yeah, it's I just kind of realized honestly only a few years ago that it's kind of old people music nowadays.
I know, isn't it funny, right?
I mean, kinda, yeah, it is kind of funny. I got kids. I mean, they're grown men now, but they're in their mid-20s, and I remember when they were teenagers telling me like, nobody's in bands anymore. That's not a thing.
Wow.
Really? Yeah.
You know, and what's interesting, like my friend Joe from the Vandals, one time we had an interview where he knew I wouldn't ask the question, but everybody asked him, so when are you guys coming out with new music? And, you know, he knew I wouldn't answer it. So he asked it. So he brought it up during the interview because he said, like, who wants to hear a bunch of 50-year-olds writing punk rock music?
Yeah, right. It's so funny.
Yeah, right?
So
like,
funny. But it's funny because then we're all 50-year-olds singing about being teenagers. So
I know, right? Exactly. And you know, it is kind of, there's truth and there's not truth. The truth is, yeah, you don't have that same angst as you did as a teenager, and you don't hate the world as much as you did when you're a teenager.
Yeah, there's different bitterness though, and there's different types of anger. So I don't think that spirit ever goes away, really. I mean, unless your interests change that much. But I mean, I don't know. We still write a lot of punk rock songs.
Right. Well, that brings me to the other thing. Okay, so a lot of punk rock bands would write about shit they were angry about political things.
Right.
And it's almost like you could write the same songs in 2024 as in the 80s, just change the names. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Even I would almost say more so now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's similar. Like, yeah, for sure.
It just blows my mind. And 2024, like you said, some of these issues are worse instead of better.
Oh yeah. Like, I think you could be a political punk band until the end of time. There's always going to be something that is, you know,
totally,
or that you don't agree with, you know.
So tell us what the difference has been for you and you guys through all these years, and how you as a band are different from those older times.
I think the main difference is that really the main difference, it started in the late 90s when we started having kids.
Yeah.
And we didn't do 3-month-long tours anymore. I mean, we still did, you know, month-long tours, but that slowed down considerably. There was a period of like 7 or 8 years in the like 2000. I lost track. I don't know. And like 2003 to 10 or something, where we didn't go internationally, and we didn't do any long US tours. We just did kind of long weekends and flew out and stuff.
Yeah.
Because of the kid thing, and the whole adulting thing and getting jobs and careers, and it's really hard to wrangle grown ass men together, even just to practice when you're younger. You know, in the 90s when we were touring heavily, I delivered pizza for 4 years. So when I'd come home, I'd deliver pizzas, and then we'd go on tour, and I'd usually be on tour. But I mean, that's the main thing. And I mean, in 2019, I think, I started my own plumbing contracting business.
Nice.
So it's even less touring.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been trying to write a record for a few years now, and it's not a lack of songs. We have enough songs for 3 records probably, but it's literally getting together to practice.
Yeah.
It's just so hard.
It's funny you say that too, because when you were saying that, I'm thinking about, like it'd be easy to wrangle around your band members to go play a gig.
Yeah.
But to practice, that's a great point, because like
it's really
when
hard.
you have time.
Yeah. And we're kind of all over the place. I mean, I'm in Santa Cruz, which is about an hour or so south of San Francisco. Yeah. Our drummer is in Sebastopol, which is about an hour north of San Francisco. And our singer just moved to Eureka last year, and that is like 6 hours north of San Francisco. So we're kind of all over the place. And I know there's a way to do it and there's a way to make it happen, but it's just harder when you get older. It just is. I mean, unless you're tired, I guess, but we're not yet. But we're still managing to, make it and play these festivals, and we're still doing stuff, but it's just a little harder to be as active as we'd all like to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the festivals. This last weekend, you played Punk in the Park, Orlando, which, my main location for my studios is in South Florida.
Oh, nice.
I was supposed to take the drive up there to Orlando, but things happened in life that deterred me, and I'm very bummed that I missed your set there. But so I want to hear about the set at Punk in the Park and how it was.
It was good. It was, let's see, we flew in and it was, Florida. It was 90 degrees and 74% humidity. And
was that all? Is that all?
Yeah, I know. That's probably not even that bad. But we're kind of privileged to be in this situation where we can actually fly out and play these festivals, and they're always fun and good, and the crowd was great, and it was a good time, and we see our friends. I mean, our friends are like running the festival because we've been around for so long. We kind of know everybody. Yeah. And then all these bands that you all know, the Bronx and the Dwarves, and all these people are people we've known for years. So it's just kind of hanging out with your old friends and getting to jump on the stage for a half hour. And it was great. It was super fun.
Yeah, that's the best part, though, right? Like now, instead of touring being like this, some like deem it as a drudgery after a while, because it's rough on the road.
It is, yeah.
So it's kind of cool to play like these festivals and not have all that stress and just have fun on stage.
Now we're actually doing a weird little run of festivals. We just got the offers, and I was like, screw it. It's easy enough. It's basically a long weekend. We did Orlando this last weekend. This coming weekend, we're flying to Chicago to do Riot Fest. And then 2 weeks after that, we're going to do the San Pedro thing for the No Effect shows.
Nice.
Duncan Drublick.
So that's cool, because I'll be at Riot Fest and I'll be able to catch your set there.
Nice.
And then I'm doing the final No Effect show.
The last show, the Sunday or whatever. Yeah.
The last one. Yeah. So that's going to be kind of cool. And like,
sure.
I'm going to miss Punk and Drublick. It's one of my favorite festivals to do.
Are they? I mean, I don't even know. Are they actually ending the festival?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I got to ask Mike. I haven't really gotten into it.
But check this out. I saw some news recently. It blew my mind that they might bring back Warped Tour in 2025.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
That shocked, but that's kind of crazy.
Right?
We did the first and I think the third Warped Tour.
Wow.
A million years ago. That's when it was like a punk rock tour.
Yeah.
It had a little bit less punk in the later Warped Tour dates, but those were the times, man. That was great.
Well, it's funny you say about that, because like one time I was interviewing a couple years ago Waddy from The Exploited.
Yeah.
And I got him all riled up, because at the end of the interview was right before going on stage, and I knew what I was doing. I was doing it on purpose. I'm like, so Waddy, What do you think of pop punk?
Oh boy.
Oh, and he went on stage and went off on the crowd like it was so funny.
That's awesome.
But it is like, I don't know, it's funny to me. Like, I think they should change that genre name because it's kind of like Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah, it's not. It's I know what you mean. It's I don't know. I don't even know how or why some of those bands are considered punk rock, and I'm not going to name names, but I don't even. It's not
I agree,
rock. And it's not even talking shit about them. It's just that there's nothing punk rock about it. It's bizarre.
Me too. And there's nothing punk rock about pop.
No, because it's a different genre.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You know, the whole idea when I was a teenager was if you were getting played on the radio, I didn't want to listen to your music.
Right. Yeah,
you know, and so it's good now that there's stations that do play it, but they're not pop stations, and it shouldn't be like the main. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm bad, but it shouldn't be mainstream.
A lot of it changed from being a lot about the attitude as well as the music to just being the music. In other words, like if it's fast and it has kind of distorted guitars playing bar chords, then it's punk rock.
Yeah,
that's what it became. It seemed like
exactly, and that's not how it started. It is an attitude. Punk rock is so much more than just the music.
Oh, it's a whole way of living your life, and it's a lot. it's like a philosophy. Yeah,
exactly. So what do your kids think of punk rock?
As far as I'm concerned, my kids are punk rock because they were raised by punk rockers. I mean,
there you go.
They're into it. My younger one is especially just totally into it. He's not even that young. He's 23. But he's pretty into it. I have a 26-year-old. He's knowledgeable about it all. He doesn't sit around listening to punk rock. He's more of a hip hop guy, which is fine. But they both have really varied tastes in music like their parents do. And they're both just total music snobs, basically.
Right.
Because we are too. So
it kind of has that way. My kids have been going to shows and festivals since I can remember. Like I put my son in his first mosh pit, and I put my grandson in his first mosh pit.
Man, that's so good.
Yeah. Like you got past the torch type of thing. It was funny too. The story with my son, it was at Metallica Tattoo the Earth tour with Slipknot. And it was at Giant Stadium.
Right.
And, we're sitting out there when Slipknot's going to be coming on. There's barely anybody there yet. We're right up front in the middle. And I kind of clued them in on what was going to happen. And I said, like, listen, people are going to shove you around. Don't get pissed. Yeah. Okay. Just go with it. Yeah. It's not about going in and hurting and maiming people. It's just about getting out your angst in a healthy way and having fun and dancing and all that. And so when it first started, I could see on his face him getting pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And I took my hand. I was like, chill out, chill out. 5 minutes later, I saw a grin ear to ear.
Oh, so good.
And I was like, the baton has been passed.
Yep. Got it. Finally got it. Yep.
Exactly. And then ever since, he's been doing it ever since. So there you go.
That's great. Yeah. I don't know if they've really, I haven't thrown my kids in the pit, and it's not happening now because I'm too damn old, but I mean, their first shows were when they were babies. So
right.
That's something, I guess.
Absolutely. I think it's a great experience for kids to be able to experience that, especially that I think it's not the same nowadays as it was when we were kids, right. Like it was a thing. And now it's like, it's not the same. It's not the same type of thing as we experienced.
It's safer too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like I lived in LA. So the OC punk scene, the original OC punk scene, and I was a long hair. So it was kind of scary being a long hair in those punk rock shows.
Gnarly. Yeah, for sure.
Totally. So Riot Fest, have you ever, I don't even know, have you played Riot Fest before?
Yeah, we played, I think just once before, but it was the year the Misfits played for the first time. So that was cool.
Oh yeah.
It was a good one.
That was a good one for sure.
Yeah. I love Chicago.
It's going to be fun this year. It's funny because they were going to move it to somewhere else.
Yep.
Because for years, people have been complaining around that area and they wanted it gone.
Yep.
But the town of Chicago knew how much they needed it and how much they wanted it. So now they brought it back to Douglas Park. And
yeah, I was wondering, I don't know why they changed venues again. They just,
well, I think they always wanted to stay at Douglas Park, but there was so much going on that they got forced out of it.
Right.
But something like that, I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
But then I guess the town of Chicago realized how much it would affect them negatively and invited them to come back.
Right.
And I don't think they ever wanted to leave Douglas Park. It is a kind of cool venue for the festival. And I dig what's going to be going on this year because there's a lot of new stuff going on, and with No Effects playing every night. And then the first Slayer show in 5 years.
Yeah.
And, like, it's definitely going to be insane and a great time. And you're on the best day, Sunday.
Yeah.
So, there it is. Anything else you want to tell the listeners about that we haven't covered that they should know about you guys that's coming up?
Other than these little shows here and there, nothing besides we're just trying to write for a record, and we'll hopefully be in the studio within the next year. It's been way too long, but that's kind of what we're concentrating on right now.
I love it.
Just wanting to get more releases out there.
I can't wait. Tell everybody how they can connect to you guys on socials, on the web, but most importantly, buy your merch because you have cool-ass merch, and that's the only way bands make money nowadays.
Absolutely. That's the truth. We're at, swinginutters.com. We're really bad at updating, but we're all over Facebook and Instagram and Swingin' Utters Official or Swingin' Utters on Facebook.
And they can look for the Swingin' Utters merch store. There's a whole merch store. That's cool. Store, and they can check everything else out on Fat Wreck and Fat Wreck Records. And so you guys rock. I'm sorry I missed you at Punk in the Park. I wanted to be there, but I'm super excited about being there for your show Sunday at Riot Fest.
Yeah, man, it'll be a blast.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for playing all these years. Like at this point, you don't even have to play anymore. It's for fun. So I'm glad you're still having fun and giving us some fun too. So thanks a lot. And thank you for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.